When you're ready. Okay, I'm Allie Martin. We did problem 14-12, and this is the first part of 14-12. We just had to do the ratios. We had working capital, which is current assets minus current liabilities. So we have for this year, it comes out to be $120,000, and last year was $60,000. And working capital is expensive to have, so you want to make sure to try to keep it low. So it looks like this year they kind of messed up a little bit. But then if you move down to current ratio, which is current assets divided by current liabilities, you have for this year 1.086, which is really good. You also, last year was 1.058. So improving the ratio, which it did, it's a result of stockpiling inventory or a high financial situation. So it's also good for this year because their number went up. Now on to C, which is the acid test ratio. It's cash plus marketable securities plus short notes receivable and accounts receivable divided by current liabilities. For this year, the number that I got was 0.393. And last year was 0.454. Those are both common numbers. For the acid test ratio, it's designed to measure how well a company must meet its goals without really depending on inventory. So as you can see, the number went down, which is good because it means the company is depending less on inventory. All right, so for D is average collection period. In order to do this problem, you had to figure out what accounts receivable turnover was. For this year, it was 12.8, and last year was 15.8. So you just plug those into the equation. You do 365 divided by 12.8 for this year. That gives you 28.469. Then last year, it was 365 divided by 15.818, which gave you 23.75 days. Now the average collection, it means how long it takes for a credit to receive, it's how long it takes to collect on a credit sale. So as you can see, it kind of went up here, which is not always a great thing because it means your company's taking longer to receive its money. However, it's not too bad of a fluctuation. Alright, so for E, average sales period, 365 days divided by inventory turnover. You have to figure out inventory turnover, which this year was 6.5 and last year was 4.8. Plug this in, divide 365 by those numbers. You get 73 days for this year, and last year you got 58.186 days. This is also a negative because this will tell you how much you turn over your inventory. Since it's taking you longer to turn over your inventory this year, then that means you're holding it or it's going into the wrong directions, which isn't always a great thing. Alright, for the second to last part is the debt to equity ratio. You do total liabilities divided by stockholders' equity. This year we got 0.875 and last year was 0.72. Normally 0.0 to 3.0 is the average, so each year they were both in the average. This just means that stockholders are seeing 87 cents back for every dollar that they put into the company, which is really, really good that this number went up. And the last part is time interest ratio. It's earnings before interest and income taxes divided by interest expense. This year was 6.556 and last year was 4.889. A higher number is better. You just don't, any number above 2 is good. So both of these years were good, but since it's a higher number, it's better for the company.
Alright, I'm Matt, and today we are going to show you how to find the common size percentages on the balance sheet for the Gulfport State Bank Company for part 2 of problem 1412. Does anyone know how to find the percentages that we are looking for in this problem? Yes, Phil.
Hi, I'm Phil. And to find the percentages for this year and last year, you take cash and you divide it by total assets, which would be 70,000 divided by 3 million, and that comes out to 2%. You do the same for marketable security, and that comes to 0%. 0. And accounts receivable would be 480,000 divided by 3 million, and that comes out to 16%. And you'll go ahead and do the same for last year. In Professor Skill, it'll be for cash 6%. For securities, it'll be 0.7%. And accounts receivable net would be 12%.
Very good, Phil. And can you tell me what we would do to find the common size percentages for the liabilities?
I sure can. For the liabilities, you'll take current liabilities divided by total liabilities and equity, and you get 800,000 divided by 3 million, and that comes out to 26%. And for bonds payable, you'll do 600,000 divided by 3 million, and that comes out to 20%. And you'll also do the same for last year, and you'll take 430,000 divided by 2,460,000, and you get 6%. Oh, 17%, sorry. 17%. And for bonds payable, you'll get 24%.
Very good, Phil.
Thank you.
Cut it off.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Phil. We're also doing number 2B for problem 1412. And for 2B, we're on the income statement, we are finding the common size percentages. Can anyone tell me what how to figure that out? Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, for cost of goods sold for this year, wouldn't you divide 3,875,000 divided by 5 million?
That is
To
correct.
get this year's percentage, which would be 78%.
That would go right here. 78%.
And doing the same for last year would get you 79%.
Now, for the next one, Allie, can you figure that out for me?
Gross margin?
Yes.
All right, well, let's do this. It'd be 1,125,000 divided by 8 million, which would give you 23% for this year.
Sure would. And also for last year?
All right, well, last year you're going to divide 900,000 divided by 435,000,
Yes.
which will give you 21%.
Okay. And can anyone tell me the last two?
Oh, let me try this. Okay, for this year, you're going to take 653,000 divided by 5 million,
Yes.
which is the sales,
Uh-huh.
and that's going to give you 13%.
13%, right on.
Doing the same thing, but just for last year, it's going to give you 13% as well.
Okay. And these are all on the income statement for the common size percentage. Now to answer number 3 on problem 1412, it asks if you would grant the loan. And from the numbers we've came up with in our info, we would grant the loan to 7 Electrics. So hopefully this was a great tool on how to learn chapter 14. Thank you, class. This is Allie. I'm Phil, and cameraman Matt. Yes, thank you.